What? You want another? Seriously? Okay. Well, here's one about a couple of kids who fall madly in love and then kill themselves by mistake. I call it Romeo and Juliet. Okay. In fair Verona, where we lay our scene, there are two families, the Capulets and the Montagues, and they hate each other's guts. They're all fighting with swords and sticks and throwing fruit at each other until the prince says, "You better stop it or I'll kill you." And then they slink away to their homes. Now Romeo Montague and his best friend Mercutio sneak into a party in disguise because it's thrown by their arch enemies, the Capulets. But what's this? Romeo sees Juliet and schmack, they fall in love, like instantly. Stupid kids. Now right away, Romeo turns into a stalker. He sees Juliet on a balcony and he says,
"But soft, what light through yonder window breaks?"
And then lovely Juliet utters the immortal words,
"Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?"
And then Romeo jumps out of the bushes like a lunatic, and they decide to get married. So the next day, a secret wedding is performed by Friar Lawrence, who's a few French fries short of a Happy Meal, let me tell you. Now Romeo is blissful and floating on a cloud, but he can't tell his friends about his secret wedding because technically he's supposed to hate all Capulets. But when Juliet's nasty cousin Tybalt challenges Romeo to a duel, Romeo refuses to fight. So Mercutio fights Tybalt instead, and Romeo grabs Mercutio like no, but that allows Tybalt to kill him. And then Romeo gets pissed off, so he kills Tybalt. And then the prince is really pissed off, and he says, "Romeo, you are totally banished." Oh my. Now that night, Romeo sneaks back to Juliet, and they bend a couple in the doodah room, if you catch my drift, until the morning comes. And then they get into an argument about a bird. Is it a lark? Is it a nightingale? Who cares? And Romeo says, "Look, I gotta run because I'm banished. Bye." Oh, poor Juliet. Just when things couldn't get any worse, her dad tells her she has to marry a guy named Paris. And Juliet would rather die than marry a guy named Paris. Juliet's crying, and the friar's moaning, and her nurse, who has this stupid hat, is also crying. And then the friar and the nurse come up with an outrageous plan. 1, they'll give Juliet a potion that'll knock her into a coma so she looks dead. Good start, right? 2, the nurse will do some more wailing so that everybody really buys it. 3, Juliet's dad, being totally suckered, will take her body to the crypt. 4, Friar Lawrence will tell Romeo that Juliet is not actually dead. And 5, Romeo will come collect the not dead Juliet from the cemetery, and they will live happily ever after. The end. Yeah, right. Of course, it doesn't work out that way because this is the worst plan ever.
Hey, pretty baby.
And Friar Lawrence forgets to tell Romeo that Juliet is alive. Romeo finds his darling Juliet, who looks like she shuffled off her mortal bucket, and he wants to end it all too, but just then Paris shows up and he says, "This is all your fault, I'm gonna kill you." So Romeo kills Paris, and then he kills himself with poison. Juliet wakes up, she sees Romeo dead, she stabs herself, and the two families show up and they find Paris killed and Romeo poisoned and Juliet stabbed, and there's blood everywhere, and they say, "You know, maybe we shouldn't fight anymore." The end. Aw, there's nothing like a good love story. And believe me, this is nothing like a good love story. Somebody mop up all this blood, please, before someone slips on it. What? It stained your stuffing? Seriously?